Hello everyone, I'm back with a brief recording today. This is a channeled message from the universe. On a personal note, I have experienced quite a few shifts over the last few days, some of which have been really quite challenging. And I must admit, emotionally, I've been able to deal with it, but on occasions it's really been quite problematic in terms of my experiences, in terms of the awakening process. And I'm sure there's going to be quite a few shifts over the next days, weeks, coming months. I am aware that we are now approaching 2026. 2026 is going to be really quite significant for everybody, no matter who you identify to. It's just going to be a year of different challenges, and hold on to your hats, or hold on to your horses, whatever the phrase is. For those people who are interested in terms of what's going on in Jamaica at the moment, it is really quite tough. There's been a food warning. I personally went around the market yesterday, and there's nothing there, and what people are trying to sell is really quite old. There's hardly any yam, hardly any tomatoes, scallion, Irish potato. It's going to be. I'm dreading it, actually. I'm dreading it because the way things are now, you can feel the tension in the air in terms of the aggression coming from the people. Going out in the community now, have to be really quite vigilant, particularly on the roads. It's not very nice, really, and this is an example of what a hurricane does to a country, and I'm also aware that in the UK things are not particularly good either. So that's what's going on in Jamaica at the moment, really. I drove around a place called Trelawney. Yesterday I went to go and see a JP, and although I was on the main road, I didn't venture off into the local communities anyway. I've just stuck to the main roads, but it was bad. You could see people's crops had been torn out of the ground. There's the yam and all the other things that people grow. It was bad, really. So where it was lush, where it should have been lush and green, you could see for miles. Where I live now, there's probably about 400 meters away, there is a house that I didn't even know was there. I've been here 7 years, didn't know it was there. So there you go. So in terms of this channeled message, it's going to be called Channeled Message from the Universe. Listen to the end. Before I go on to do that, this is my statement of purpose, what this channel is about. This channel is supported by God based on my experience of witchcraft and the awakening process over time, past and present. The practice of witchcraft is real and affects many people's lives negatively within this timeline. I am calling these entities out into the open to express their actions towards the vulnerable, the innocent, and the unaware of their actions. These people are spirits of deception and envy. Behaviours are of old. Support is offered to the entities who rebuke the dark, wanting to return to the light. God continues his protection of the chosen and the individuals of light who visit this channel to express themselves and to receive support. A declaration in terms of my integrity. What I am about to talk about is the truth, the whole truth in terms of my experience So help me God. As I've said, over the last few days, it has been really quite challenging emotionally, although I've been able to remain on a consistent level. It has been very challenging. On at least 3 occasions, I have experienced shifts within shifts, which, to be quite honest with you, it is difficult to acknowledge, to experience a shift. Sometimes you don't really feel anything, and other times you can feel the frequency of the shift in your mind, and the frequency on occasions it's really quite high. There have been numerous guidance from my archangel and my spirit team. If you are in the same position as I would suggest that you listen and obey. It is important that you do listen to your archangels and your spiritual team. They are here or to support you in terms of your transition, your purpose. So this is vitally important that you do listen. Within these experiences, my intuition has played a major role. Again, listen and obey. I am informed, or I'm informing you of this because I cannot be the only one chosen who is experiencing this journey or these transitions. I'm not really here to talk about anything personal today, really, and I think what's actually going on with me in terms of my transition is imperative to me. And although that this channel is based on my experience, I have to use my own discernment in terms of what I disclose in terms of my own experience and transition and understanding in terms of the awakening process. And I hope you understand that, really, because sometimes, depending on what I give out in terms of my own personal experience, can be used against me to harm me. And to be quite honest with people, not wanting to scaremonger, there are people out there who aren't what they profess to be. And I'll come back to that in a little while, actually, because I think it's really quite important that I express this. In regards to intuition, I am asking you, really, chosen ones, whoever has access to this, that your intuition is your guide in terms of your shifts. So let me just read this. In regards to your intuition, I am asking you not to ignore instructions given by your intuition. Your intuition is your guide. For example, intuition is your guide. Of importance, there is a lot of spiritual warfare involved within these experiences. And what I mean in terms of spiritual warfare, this is slightly different to the spiritual warfare that I have expressed previously. It would appear that that the entities have evolved in terms of spiritual warfare, where they have started to study the victim, you, in terms of your actions, your vocabulary, and what they are tending to do now is to mimic your vocabulary used when expressing things to yourself, which means that they have become more technical. And it is your intuition, people, and I'll say this again, it is your intuition that is in letting you know that it is spiritual warfare, and that you need to express yourself, revoke what or rebuke what you are agreeing to, having been warned by your intuition. And this is really quite important, because entities now, they're not playing about. Then the closer you become, or closer you get to your purpose or your mission, the more spiritual warfare you will now be experiencing. And I can't express that enough, really. So let me try and give you hang on. Okay, so the spiritual warfare currently is not fearful, which is why they are mimicking your vocabulary. The spiritual warfare has become more technical, just said, more about mimicking your thoughts patterns. Your intuition will guide you through this experience, right? So I've just repeated that. So for me, I have noticed that I have been told that I'm too old to continue along this path I'm going on, that I am or have made too many mistakes. I've been on the same path for too long. I am not valued, and I am alone. Now these might seem really quite minor, but once you start to agree to these definitions that I've just talked about, the more hold entities tend to have over you, and over a period of time they will start to make a difference in terms of your commitment, your progress, and just your general view in terms of the awakening process, which then puts you at risk. And I can't express how serious that is, really. I mean, I experienced warfare a month, 5 weeks ago, 2 months ago, and although I still experience spiritual warfare today, it's not on the extent as it was previously, because I was actually also in fear, really. So, and that is really quite significant, and I can't say that we're all the same, because we're not. And if you are experiencing fear at the moment, you have to overcome that. If you don't overcome that, then you are putting yourself at risk. And I don't mean to sound like I don't care, because I do care, because I've experienced it myself. But it's up to you to actually manage this in the best way you can. And if you are finding it difficult, the only thing that I can say to you people is pray. Pray to God, pray to the universe, pray to, whoever you see as God in your own mind, because it's God, the universe, the creator, that is going to make a difference in terms of your life and what you're experiencing. And I cannot say that enough. And I'm going to say this once more as well, and I'm probably going to say it in about 1,000 times whilst I'm trying to progress this channel, is that I am not religious. I've never been religious. I've found a friend in God, and although sometimes we don't agree with each other in terms of the way forward for me, he's amazing. He is amazing, and I communicate with him daily. Right, chosen ones, I have to say that there has been more people introduced to my life lately. These people I have found difficult to read. Should this be the case for you, you do not worry. Try not to worry. I have been informed by my intuition that these individuals have been introduced into your life for a purpose. Now, this is also really quite important. Several of these individuals will disappear as quickly as they came into your life. Do not, sorry, I can't read my writing here. Do not chase them once they start to go out of your life. Who is meant to remain in your life will stay in your life. Remember, and this is again really quite important, remember the universe is not, or does not tell you everything you will be, the universe does not tell you everything you will be made aware of over time. So what I mean by that is that the universe, God, the creator, he sets things up for you, a path for you, but he doesn't always tell you the outcome of that. And that should be really quite obvious, really. If entities are able to get into your mind and read your mind, then should the universe tell you everything that's going on, it's going to put you at risk. And I say that, and I think, oh my God, I've just actually said that, and it sounds a bit weird, but it is true. It is true. You either believe or you don't, and I'm a believer in terms of my journey. So I'm being deadly serious here, absolutely deadly serious. And if you don't resonate with what I'm saying, then that's fair enough. That's fair enough for you. You do what you want to do. It's your life. But I'm expressing what I believe is true, and what I believe will make a difference in people's lives. Okay, chosen ones. These experiences can be unsettling. I can only assure you via God, the universe, that everything is going to be okay. You are being guided to a position more conducive to your alignment and your future purpose. The next phase of your life is going to be peaceful, in line with your mission. That's really quite comforting also, really. You are beginning to connect to your future self. Opportunities and decisions made will become easier, and that's also comforting as well. Your fear, your worries, your doubts are starting to fade. Your spirit is guiding this feeling. Your path is clearing, without you leading this yourself. So that's more about the universe making a pathway for you to achieve whatever your goal, whatever your mission or your purpose is. So getting to this stage of the awakening, not saying that it's going to be what's the saying, plain sailing from this point in time. There's always going to be ups and downs within the process, within your direction, your purpose, and what the universe expects of you. So if you are in doubt, then try and put yourself back in alignment with your purpose. Today, whenever you receive this recording, is a special day. Pay particular attention to your intuition and obey instructions. I can't express that enough. This is imperative. This is imperative to move forward. Chosen ones. I'll read that again. This is imperative to you or to your forward moments, chosen ones, I should have said. Finally, I'm saying this in front of all who has access to this recording. That is, I am saying thank you, or thanks to God, to the universe, my spirit team, my archangels, for their intervention and guidance in my journey. It has been really quite challenging for me. I won't lie about that. I can't lie about that. Particularly in terms of energetic energy. I have been portrayed over and over and over again in terms of energetic energy, where I've taken people into my circle to only find out via my spirit team, my archangel, the universe, that I have been betrayed. And some of these betrayals have been really quite serious. And if it wasn't for my team, for the universe, I can't see how I would have progressed through the awakening process and dealt with the witchcraft that I have dealt with on my own. I've actually come to the point now that it's absolutely impossible. Absolutely impossible. Do you know, you look at some people and you think, oh, what a nice person that person is. Energetically, that's not the case. That's not the case. A beautiful face is still a face that is able to betray and put you in danger, take you off your course of action, prevent anything of use coming your way. And it's really quite sad, actually. I'm feeling a bit emotional here, because this is all really quite new to me, very new. Although it's been a few years, I've still got a lot to learn. And to be quite honest with you, I have made so many mistakes within this process going to get to where I am now. And if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. I really wouldn't be here. I'd have been 6 foot under. And I'm being serious. There is another life to the life that you are living, to the life that you've become used to. There is more that goes on in the spiritual realm than what goes on here in the material world. And that is a fact. That is a fact. So, people, just be aware. Just be aware of yourselves. Just be aware of the people that are around you. And this is including family members. This is including family. Because, you know, it is emotionally and mentally, when you find out that family members have betrayed you, family members are of the dark, it's not easy to cope with. It's not easy to cope with. But if you put your trust in the universe will see you through the bad parts of the awakening process. And there are bad parts. There are. Put your faith in the universe. Without the universe, God, source, creator, none of us are actually going anywhere. In fact, this planet that we live on, dare I say anymore, I am looking for subscriptions for this channel. I'm going nowhere. I'm here for the duration. The more subscriptions I get, the more that I'll be able to do. So please, if you resonate, you like what I'm saying, if I can actually say like, then please give me your support. I'd certainly welcome that. With that said, take care. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.